Okay. Sorry, we're dealing with slightly inebriated Greg at the moment, so therefore, yes, I will be smiling an awful lot this rant. Now, I have been trying to binge watch Deep Space Nine since Radioholic has not been really doing regular reviews or Skype calls of DS9 episodes on a regular basis. For they're few and far in between. So yes, so I decided to just binge watch the whole series and try to get through it as much as I can on a semi irregular basis. Anyway, point is that DS9 has set up the concept of Quark. All right, fine, whatever, and the various different alien races represent different quote unquote sins. Yeah, it's heavy handed on the nose, whatever crap. Point is, for the character Quark, we see him be this wheeling dealing character. Fine, dandy, alright, so the Ferengi are this thing, apparently. After the first couple of introductions, they finally settle on what it is they are. Okay, so with that established eventual standard, we finally see Quark go through the things and do this and do that. Okay, fine, he's a dealer, blah blah blah. He does this, and then we see him screw over the crew of DS9 like at least twice for profit, and then we see him in this episode body parts. I just have to comment on it. Is that he he thinks he's dying. He was told he was dying. Turns out he's not dying. But before he heard that he's not dying, he had sold his body parts for slices or slabs. It's probably similar to that thing that people did when they want to see the slices of the human body. What they did is they froze a guy, which was in prison, I believe. Um, Froze him solid in a block of ice and slowly took off like a millimeter or whatever, tiny little bit of glacial layer. Took a picture and then sliced another layer off again, and then that did that like 10,000 times. And someone there with a, I swear to God, a fucking squeegee, not squeegee, but spray bottle and a rag. So every time it makes a pass, this person in garb would spray the surface, wipe it down, take the picture, and have the thing go by again. So that's that person's job, is to wipe down the corpse to make sure the picture is crystal clear. Because apparently the millimeter or whatever the fuck thin layer that was scraped off is completely gone, and therefore will not obscure the picture. Yeah, I'm sure. So, point being, one of these slabs I'm guessing will be incredibly enlarged to about maybe an inch or so, because it says 52 strips of Quark. I'm guessing. Um, it was sold to this guy in the Ferengi government that he doesn't like. That he's met before but doesn't like. So the guy comes there and says, I want my product. I pay for my product," which means Quark now has to die. So he calls on the tailor, plain simple Garrick, to try and kill him. But he gets a vision, a dream vision, to say just break the rules, refund the money, and it will all be okay. So he does. He wants to live, so he gives him back his 50 bars of platinum plus some more. So the guy says default because them's the breaks, and repossesses everything in the bar. So Quark is left with essentially an empty bar. Oh, but what's this? The crew who has known him, who has been spurred by this man a good couple of times, and people have been shot with lasers, come in and say, "Hey, gee, Quark, someone paid me in this shitty wine, but I don't want it because it tastes foul. You could totally have it." out of the blue at this particular moment in time, and then the other crew member comes in and says, "Oh, hey Quark, I have these shitty glasses. You could totally have them. You know, they were a gift too, but they're shitty, and I don't like them, so you can keep them." And then everybody else comes in, "Hey Quark, you know we heard what you did, that honorable thing." And it's like it doesn't matter if it's honorable by your Earth human standards. Yeah, well, yeah, that's a thing. Trust me, it's a it's a fucking shipwreck dealing with the Federation's morality in this whole thing. But the thing is that these crew members know this guy, and it's like they detest him on any given episode. But when he, you know, is a moral standpoint, oh, then they just forget all the bloodshed and backstabbing. I mean, seriously, in 2 episodes, this guy has sold weapons and sold out passage on to these terrorists can get on the DS9 to steal Dax's symbiote thing. And apparently, in this act of moralism, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, the crew suddenly just forgets that whole business and rallies to Quark and say, "Here, take this, you poor downtrodden individual." And I'm thinking, bullshit, you would. No, it does that because it tries to have a premise that if you're a moral human being that tries to that redeems himself through bankruptcy, you deserve to have everybody come here and kiss your ass and help you with free shit. And I say no, 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 no. Nobody would do that. The Federation people aboard the DS9, they wouldn't do that. They know him. They actively despise him, like I said, on any given episode. And yet, because he did that, oh, and then they kiss his ass. "Oh, here's this free shit to help get your business started again. Here's this charity." And it's like, oh, God. It just shows what a forced story does with characters and overall plot points. And it's like, show, really? Really? We're going to do this? We're going to show that if you're a backstabbing, money-grubbing bastard, it's just that once in a while, when you finally show some sense of not Ferengiism or Ferengi animism, but humanism, humanity. Oh, then everyone comes out of the woodwork when and it's like, no, no, you wouldn't. You still straight up despise him. It takes a lot to redeem yourself. It doesn't take a moral high ground in a single moral high ground, might I add, in order to be redeemed. It just feels like the story needs to force the characters of DS9 to do that in order to not pay off, but to reward a redeeming trait, not the redeeming trait or redeeming traits or arc, but one redeeming trait. Oh, he decided not to die every front of the money. He must be the most. He totally just, undid all that bad. And it's like, oh, for fuck's sakes. Really? Really? It's just. I've been watching this show since I was like a kid. And quite frankly, I haven't watched it this consecutively. But now that I have and see everything back to back, it's a damn good show, better than I remember it. But it's also stupider at things because it tries to have a moral center, a forced moral center, where there logically shouldn't be one. It just feels stupid. Everything else feels a lot more logical. But then it's like we will tolerate Quark and all that other jazz. And it's like, no, you wouldn't. By the end of this, I hope he gets rich and moves on to other ventures. I don't know. I have 2 more seasons to find out. And that's just about it. It just seems stupid. Oh, by the way, if you don't think Bashir has anything stupid happening to him, his family does needless exposition to be overheard by someone else about his family's deep, dark secret. And it's like, yes, son, this thing we should already know. I promise you, we will not speak of it to anybody else. Ha ha ha. And it's like, right. This thing we all know between the three of us, but we'll name it specifically what that crime was so that we can be overheard by people around the corner. And, it's like, oh, for crying out loud, really? So bad exposition still is bad exposition. So never force that. It's ridiculous. I'll let you figure out what that is, but it's just stupid where it's like, they all know it. And yet we'll spell it out for the audience and the people around the corner so that we're all caught up. So that the next plot point in the story will then have to happen. It's crying out loud. Oh, and Kira, it's like freedom fighter or terrorist. The show is still unknowing because we never see what her impact on this whole war thing even is. Did she save lives with her actions? Does the end justify the means? We don't know. We just know that she did shit or terrorist shit in the name of freedom and fighting back against the oppression something. So yeah. Oh, and Benjamin still can't have a girlfriend no matter what. Because everyone keeps killing them off or having them arrested. No wonder, if I remember correctly, he just goes into the wormhole and says, fuck it, bye. In the end. So, yeah, I will probably make an overall review by the end of the season. Or whatever the hell that is. Alright, so take care, and hope you like the new, buzz cut. I did a video on that. Sorry if it cuts off. I was not hit by traffic or whatever. I just ran out of batteries. I had the battery cut out on me. So I really wanted to showcase me after I finished the beard that I shaved my head. But, it was a $250 phone. I mean, seriously, it's not very much. I got it off of Amazon. I mean, yeah, so you get what you pay for. And I probably should have charged the battery more before I used it, but whatever. Alright, so it's all I have for now. Take care, everybody, and buy Bitcoin Ethereum. Alright? Trust me. This is going to be your retirement fund because Social Security ain't going to be there for you. Lord knows it ain't going to be there for me. Bye.